First, before we even get into anything with this episode, we need to take a moment to recognize the foolishness that was Andy's bright pink dress she wore on her first date with these sleeves. When the girls were down to the bar where the Honda cars be, as Funky Dineva likes to say, what in the hell was she wearing? I swear Andy looked like she just came from her best friend's wedding where she was a bridesmaid and didn't have time to go home and change into normal clothes. That was a whole mess. And even though the scenes this week were dragging, Danny was absolutely giving this episode life. She was so damn funny, and thank God for her humor, because we needed it.
Hey, what you doing out here? Waiting for you? Scared of getting flung again? I just think we should go in as a unit. Yeah, you're scared. That's okay.
So last week we saw that Sabrina was in some real trouble with bio. Maurice was clear from having to do any prison time, as he was clearly lying. And Karen was still keeping everyone guessing about the father of her baby. And this week it felt like Tyler Perry just decided to clear up or clean up everyone's stories and end a whole bunch of storylines that were dragging, leaving me to wonder, are we finally going to get some new plot lines for Sabrina, Andy, Karen, and Danny? Let's talk about it. But before we get into this video, please do me a solid and hit that like button if you enjoy the content. Be sure to click on that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell for updates. Your support of the channel is immensely appreciated. Thank you. First storyline to be severed was the Bio-Sabrina storyline. Even though we start back with Bio still threatening Sabrina, demanding that she marry him and be one of his wives, or else he will revoke the bail money and have her go back to jail. Which was confusing to me because I thought the bail money he gave was for Maurice. But anyway, he simply tells her, psych, made it all up.
I think we are all the same. You think that all that stuff that I said just now is what we Africans do. But there's no contract to marry you. And that was not my mother on the phone. I don't want to marry you.
Apparently, he just wanted to play on her and other black people's prejudices about African people. So he's not trying to marry her at all. And now Sabrina has no threat of being prosecuted, Maurice is free, and Bio is gone. So what now for her character? We aren't really left with anything yet. And I was a bit disappointed because I thought she may have more legal troubles facing Bio in court, but nope, storyline just abruptly ends. Then we jump over to Danny and Andy meeting in front of Karen's apartment door as they proceed to talk about her without knocking on the door to go inside, which was strange to me. And even Karen had to say something about that.
Don't stand out here talking about my Karen! Huh?
They all sit down to face Karen, but the demeanor of both Andy and Sabrina was also very strange. They were all in good spirits and all chipper like everything was okay. And based on the last time they were all over there when Karen cussed them all out, kicked them out, then Sabrina came back and Karen was sitting with the door open, holding a gun. Why does this feel like some sort of kiki now with them tiptoeing around Karen's feelings? Thankfully, Danny just had to cut through all the bull and get down to what they were really there for, because Andy especially was being so incredibly fake. And when Karen just sums everything up like, oh, I was only with 2 men and Aaron was excluded, so I didn't need Zach's DNA. I was like, what in the...
Zach isn't on the paperwork. Right, because I only had Aaron's DNA, but he was excluded, so is Zach's.
That was the dumbest thing I think she's ever said, forcing Andy to ask about the other guy Karen dated around the same time.
Might you have been intimate with someone else during that time? I don't mean any offense. I'm offended. It was just the 2 of them. Thank you.
Then she calls Aaron, invites him over and sits him down to show him the paperwork, and oh, did that say I was not a match? Oh, my bad. This scene was just as terrible as Sabrina's. So the Aaron/Karen storyline is also dissolved. What now for her character? Rebuilding the salon? Even Q is called to the police station to meet with the DA who accuses him of lying and sends him off to jail, thus eliminating Q as a threat and dissolving his storyline. So now what is Maurice going to have going on? Nothing we can see so far. Andy goes on a date, claiming to be over Gary, though their storyline ended quite some time ago, which is why Gary's scenes now mostly involve Hayden. And I'm like Fatima, I really could care less if Hayden just fell off a cliff and disappeared forever. Danny is happy with Preston, and in true SISTAS fashion, another major actor is missing. Are we going to see Preston again anytime soon? And the only real story of any interest left is what's going to happen with Zach and his son. And I don't even feel like we got any further with this storyline this week than what the preview showed last week. But let me know what you all thought about this episode. Were you disappointed with the way Sabrina and Karen's storylines were handled? Do you think that this show has run its course and these characters don't really have much of a story anymore? Do you think that Sabrina, Danny, Andy, and Karen need all new storylines, as well as Maurice, Calvin, Gary, and Hayden? Drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. But thank you all once again for tuning in. And of course, if you've made it all the way to the end of this episode, thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and hit that like button if you got anything out of the content. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click that notification bell for updates. Thank you.